Shalom, this is Daniel Stern of the Netivyah Bible Instruction Ministry, coming at you once again from Jerusalem. Over the past week, there have been significant developments that have unfolded in the Israel-Gaza conflict, impacting regional dynamics and international relations. We're going to do a little bit of an analysis of these events, with a focus on military operations, political maneuvers, and humanitarian concerns, as well as a little bit of the broader geopolitical implications involving other regional actors. There's been an escalation in the conflict this week. Israel has intensified its measures against the Hamas in order to pressure them into releasing Israeli hostages. The energy minister, Eli Cohen, ordered the cessation of electricity supply to the Gaza Strip, aiming to compel Hamas to disarm and release hostages. This action significantly impacts Gaza's infrastructure, particularly its central desalination plant, which provides drinking water to the region and cleans the sewage water. The reduction in electricity raises concerns among international bodies, with criticisms labeling it as collective punishment. Israel has also halted the entry of goods into Gaza, further tightening the blockade. But two things must be said in the context of those statements. First of all, it is that Gaza also has a border with Egypt, and that border has been closed for over 20 years. Although the extensive and lucrative smuggling operations have also been happening for over 20 years. So, any claim of a siege by Israel must take into account Egypt's role in keeping the Gazans in their prison. The second, and possibly more important thing to note, is that in no war in history has it been expected of Side A to provide anything: water, food, electricity, medical care, gas, and funds to Side B, the side that is actively trying to kill them. It is absurd even to consider it, let alone actually do it like Israel has been done and is being pressured to do since the war started. Diplomatic efforts in the region and international reactions to these steps by Israel. In response to the escalating situation, Israel has finally agreed to send a delegation to Qatar to engage in further ceasefire negotiations with the Hamas in an attempt to move on to the second step of the truce or extend the first step. And this marks a significant development, as it is the first time such direct talks have been scheduled since President Donald Trump took office. The negotiations aim to secure the release of the remaining hostages and establish a more durable ceasefire agreement, and of course, to dismantle the Hamas. U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff is expected to join the discussions, and we've seen that he's been quite the bulldozer in the last few months, underscoring the importance of these talks in the broader context of the Middle East peace efforts, read Saudi Arabia. The international community has expressed varying degrees of concern over Israel's recent actions. The United Nations and other international bodies have criticized the reduction in electricity, citing the severe impact on Gaza's civilian infrastructure and the potential for a humanitarian crisis. Although, as we know, the United Nations is strongly biased against Israel. Over the past year and a half, they claimed massive starvation in the Gaza Strip, when it is far from the truth, and much of the shortages were caused due to Hamas stealing the food from the UN and other sources, and at best, selling it for exorbitant prices, and at worst, stealing it away for their war effort. So either they increased their funds for the war effort, or they actually used the supplies for the war effort. And let us not forget that the UN agencies collaborate and conspire with the Hamas on the one hand, but also to keep the Arabs in Gaza, Judea, Samaria, as well as Jordan, Egypt, and Lebanon, those Arabs that we call Palestinians, in a perpetual refugee status and continue to be used as a weapon against Israel. Nor can we forget that the bias in the UN is so bad that in the committees and commissions, such as the Human Rights Commission, it is so bad against the Jews and is so anti-Semitic that they have made multiple more resolutions against Israel than the entire world combined, including such horrible and abusive countries as North Korea, Iran, Afghanistan, the Democratic Republic of Congo, and so on. So take what the UN says with a grain of salt. With the negotiations stalled, yesterday the Houthi spokesperson, who we haven't heard from them in a while, gave an ultimatum that if within 4 days the negotiations don't start up again properly, they will return to their daily attacks against Israel. So in conclusion, the past week has been pivotal in the Israel-Gaza conflict, marked by strained diplomatic efforts and deepening humanitarian concerns caused by Israel finally stopping to supply electricity, or at least claiming to do so. We don't actually know if in truth they will do so, because Israel has often said that they will do something, but in the end do only a lackluster effort in that regard, especially when it came to not allowing or yes allowing supplies into the Gaza Strip and other such things. So honestly, it's a wait and see regarding the electrical supply into Gaza and all other sanctions. But hopefully, finally, someone got their head on straight and Israel will treat their adversaries as adversaries. Now, what I'd like to ask of you is to please pray for the hostages, their families, the soldiers, the wounded, their families, and the leadership of Israel. Pray that God's will be done, and pray for the region as a whole. And if you like this video, please share it with a friend. And if you didn't like this video, please tell me why. Comment below. God bless you all. Shalom.